I'm finna rub some people the wrong way when I say this, but a lot of y'all think because I'm queer and I'm black that automatically I voted for Kamala. I did not participate in this voting process because I felt we were screwed either way. Y'all legit really don't even give a fuck about the politicians. Y'all elected a 23-year-old person in Bogalusa. Brain ain't even finished developing. And now y'all railroading this young man, this young person on charges instead of questioning everybody that was around him. But now he gotta take the brunt of all of this, and this child was 23 years old when he was elected into the highest office of the town. He was the mayor at 23, and now he's facing criminal charges at 26. These are grown old people. And sitting up here talking about this is really a child, legit. Y'all don't even care about the politicians. Let's be clear. And the only ones that's comfortable with it is the good old boys, the ones that's been groomed for this. They feel special being a sock puppet. But I digress. One party was supporting a genocide war. The other party is supporting a genocide war. One party was against trans people, and the other party really was just being vague and wasn't being very clear. And so either way, I felt we were screwed, and I think we passed the time of pretending that things is going to be okay. And when y'all say, oh, you know, you just as much to blame as the people who voted against their interests, sweetheart, this government ain't never gave a crap about me. Baby, when I was in my 20s and my early 30s, I was going to jail for surviving. I was in there fighting for my life. I've lived below the poverty line most of my life, if not all of my life. People in the comment section of my videos talking about you need to divest from welfare and how long you been on welfare. It's more of y'all that get food stamps. We're only 13% of the population. Stop trying to act like we the ones straining the economy. And if you really want to get technical with it, as much money as y'all make off of treating queer and gay people like lab rats, because don't get me started on HIV, how that shit was created and put in our community. And now pharmaceutical companies is cleaning up off of that. As much money as y'all done made off of playing with our blood, and you sit up here trying to check me about $200 worth of food stamps a month, when y'all charging $3,500 for a bottle of HIV medication a month. It's not a damn coincidence that black people is disproportionately impacted by this shit. And you talking about some $200 worth of food stamps? You talking about some $200 worth of welfare? That's the problem. Y'all got this chant talking about white men fight back. Fight your own selves. Honestly, it might be time for another Boston Tea Party. But you can got my tea though. How about that? You want to punch down and jump in the comment section and argue with somebody making less than $15,000 a year, argue with somebody living below the poverty line, but you don't have this smoke for the government whose salaries you're paying with your taxes and they keep fucking shutting down. You're real brave. Wow, what courage. You should get a medal. And let me tell you when I'm going to divest from any benefits I receive as an American whose ancestors were prisoners of war and slaves. When you stop treating us like lab rats, giving us garbage-ass food, dirty water, and diseases. You give us some good, fertile land, and you allow us to grow fruit and vegetables, when you give us clean water, when they stop unaliving our holistic practitioners, rest in power, Dr. Sebi, when they're allowed to practice openly so that we don't have to center westernized medicine. And if you're going to indoctrinate us, because that's what education is, indoctrination, make that shit free. That's when I will divest from services. But ain't nobody, you go and work 40 and 80 hours a week and complain about it because you done stuck your ping in multiple coochies and you have to pay child support. You have mouths to feed, sir. You have mouths to feed, ma'am. This foolishness was created by your direct ancestors. We look at Mount Rushmore, we see your direct ancestors. When we look at all of the presidents of the United States, we see a lot of your direct ancestors. But the gag is, just like they don't want these Negro colored people sitting at the table, they don't want some of you trailer parks at the table neither. And they keep playing in y'all face like they really like you, but they don't want to see y'all get wealthy. They don't want to see y'all get a leg up. They lying. Some of y'all thought that the government was going to somehow wave a magic wand, and because you look like this and not like this, y'all was going to magically get skipped to the beginning of the line, and somehow your benefits would be spared while ours would be terminated. That's not how it's working. Because at the end of the day, it's not about race. That's what they want us to believe, to keep the poor and working class beefing amongst each other, so that we can't actually take back our power. It's about wealth, and it's about how invested you are in maintaining the game as it is. If you willing to tap dance and coon and shuck and jive, it doesn't matter. If you willing to uphold this system and you willing to sell out your own for this system, then baby, you could get a seat at the table. But if you have any integrity and you care about the little people, they don't mess with you. Point that frustration where it's supposed to go. Get out my comments. Purple ones. Rise.